Thank you for staying with us. After nearly a decade, External Affairs Minister of India has visited Pakistan. S. Jaishankar travelled to Islamabad for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. He's concluded that visit. He's flying back to India as we speak. S. Jaishankar became the first Indian External Affairs Minister, to visit Pakistan since 2015. His visit comes amid frosty ties between the two nations, and this was very evident when he and Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif met. At the SCO Summit, S. Jaishankar delivered India's national statement. He sent out a stern warning not just to Pakistan in their own backyard, but also its fair weather ally China. Jaishankar reminded Pakistan of the three evils and stated that cross-border extremism, separatism and expansionist behavior hinders bilateral trade and relations, and in no way that is something that India will stand for. Prabhu, former Indian diplomat who served at the Indian consulate in Karachi, joins us in this broadcast. Kamal Chima, strategic affairs expert, will be joining us shortly from Pakistan. Prabhu, the message is very clear. What Mr. S. Jaishankar echoed, that's been India's stance for the last decade or so. Expansionism is not going to work. That's a message to China. And exposing Pakistan in its own backyard, because every single time India has made an olive branch offer or an overture, Pakistan has turned around and stabbed us in the back.
Well, frankly, India has repeatedly said to Pakistan that it wants to have a dialogue, but a dialogue cannot take place as long as Pakistan pursues the policy of sponsoring terrorist activities across the border. Now, let me mention that ever since Pakistan was routed in the 1971 war and lost its eastern part, which became Bangladesh, Pakistani generals have spoken about taking revenge and bleeding India by 1,000 cuts. Now, they know full well that India's economic and military strength is much greater, and that there is no way Pakistan can win a war against India. Therefore, the Pakistani generals have based their strategy on carrying out covert warfare. They've tried to achieve this through terrorists who are trained by the Pakistan army and sent across the line of control to fight against Indian security forces. Simultaneously, there's an all-out effort by the Pakistan establishment to pass off these terrorists as indigenous Kashmiri freedom fighters. I don't think that Shehbaz Sharif can do anything that will go against the wishes of the generals. In other words, he cannot overturn this policy of sponsoring terrorist activities against India. For this reason, I don't see any end to terrorism from Pakistan, and for this reason, we can't have a normal relationship with that country.
Kamal Chima, several overtures made by the Indian side, several olive branches being shared over the years, but all of them have been betrayed by the Pakistani side because terror continues unabated. Even today, we had the External Affairs Minister point out that terrorism, extremism and separatism have no place, and if that continues, then ties cannot be normal. Specifically, trade and connectivity will be an issue between the two countries.
Well, I think definitely both the countries do understand that the terrorism is a challenge, and for this matter, Dr. Jaishankar did mention. Well, let me tell you that today there was an important day. First, Dr. Jaishankar did ask the Pakistani authorities that he wants to have a word with the Pakistani foreign minister on the lunch, for which special arrangements were made. And I think Dr. Jaishankar is a seasoned diplomat, and I think, in my understanding, somehow positive gestures have come from Pakistan and India, despite the fact we have huge differences between both the countries. We do not trust at all each other. But I think the way Dr. Jaishankar came, he was welcomed properly, he was treated properly. He was honored. And at the same time, the point which is important, which you are mentioning, terrorism. And I think now the time is that the G7 and the Five Eyes intelligence are asking India for promoting terrorism. You are talking about Pakistan, but the world is asking India that why you are sponsoring terrorist organization within Canada. So I think India's words do not match with the words and actions. It is the entire UN, the Americans are asking that send a team. So India sent a team in Washington to support and probe the terrorism incidents in America. So your words are good. Okay,
I don't think that terrorism acts as you claim them. Also, Canada making these allegations, they've done so for the last 1 year, and there has been no proof that Justin Trudeau or his administration has given. All he's doing is pandering to his political vote bank there, because he's trailing as far as his electoral battles in Canada go. He, as we speak, is going to be appearing or deposing before a foreign interference commission. So he's probably just trying to build a case for trying to save his seat there, because there is no proof, but there is proof of what Pakistan is doing in India. So I don't know how you say that these overtures are positive from both sides and both sides are working in the same sentiment, because Pakistan clearly is not.
Australia, United Kingdom, United States, Canada, all these countries have said one by one, just today and yesterday, that we are asking India to cooperate in terrorism related matters. This is what...
and all of these countries, the United Nations, the IMF, the FATF, they've all said the same thing against you. So if you take their word at what the allegations towards India are, then what they're saying about Pakistan must also be true, sir.
Pakistan was in a grey list before. Pakistan was in a grey list before. But remember, Pakistan is no more been sanctioned by any country as a terrorist country. India, which blames. And it is Canada which has come with the proofs. It is America which has come with the proofs. India is sponsoring terrorism in Canada and America. So I think you need to
I don't know where that proof is, sir, because India has been asking exactly for that proof. As opposed to the proof that India has been giving to Pakistan for years together. Dossiers after dossiers on terror acts have been shared with Pakistan.
We have also given dossiers to P5 about Indian involvement in Pakistan. And for this matter, you do understand that Afghanistan soil has been continuously used. India has been supporting the Baloch militant organizations continuously. We do understand that. Even the banned organizations like TTP are being funded by the Indian deep state.
Any proof of that, sir? Or are these allegations like what Justin Trudeau said?
I have a message. Listen, I have a message for you. This is the day to move on, because Dr. Jaishankar did ask today that I need to sit with the Pakistani foreign minister on lunch, and they had a good conversation. Pakistani media has reported, the videos have come. We welcome Dr. Jaishankar. Do not use this opportunity, this visit as an opportunity. Rather, talking about something which has been happening in the past. I think for India, the challenge is what Canada, America, United Kingdom, and Australia are asking.
So what India's challenge is, leave it to us, no? The challenge between India and Pakistan is what we're discussing.
You are our neighbor. We cannot let you to lecture us, but the world is lecturing you. So I think you have actions and words need to match. Your actions are different. Your words are different.
They're not. They're not.
America.
There is proof of what Pakistan is doing. There is proof of terrorists fomenting trouble, not just in Jammu and Kashmir anymore, but along the border, even in Punjab. There are drugs that are coming through drones being dropped in Punjab with imprints of it coming from Pakistan. There is proof, and the world has seen it. Unlike what Justin Trudeau is saying, where the world hasn't seen what proof he's talking about, because they're all in the realm of allegations.
Madam, the point is, it is raw which has been expelled from North America. There is no presence of raw because of his heinous crimes, because of what has been doing in the United States and Canada. The inter-services intelligence does have a presence in the United States and Canada. We do have cordial relations. We work on counter-terrorism. If RAW is helping in counter-terrorism, why it has been expelled by the Canadians and the Americans? I think the word is, call spade a spade. This is the time when India's actions and words are not meeting. We listened to you for years, for decades. Nobody was listening Pakistan for decades what you are doing. Now it is the P5, it is the Americans, the British, the Australians are calling you. They have good ties. You are a member of the Quad. You are in Indo-Pacific. You hosted G20. That is perfect. But sponsoring terrorism is what the Indians are doing. This is what the Canadians and Americans are saying.
It's interesting that Pakistan believes that, but sure.
Kamar
Okay.
Chima is not saying this. It is
Sure.
the Americans and the Canadians, Australians, the British.
Sure, and all of them are
prove
saying
to
that
them.
without proof. Like I said, all of them are talking about what Justin Trudeau said, and Justin Trudeau is not giving any
I do
proof.
trust the Canadian Prime Minister.
But as opposed to the proof that India has given to Pakistan on multiple occasions. But anyway, Prabhu Dayal, this is standard operating procedure for Pakistan, isn't it? The first line of defense is denial. The second line of defense is playing the victim card that, oh, we too have been victims of terror, so we understand.
First of all, let me mention that I have great regard for Kamar Chima. We are friends. We have often discussed issues together on television. So I would like to clarify to him that as regards the Canada-India issue, we have not received any evidence or proof from the Canadian side, despite having requested for it a number of times. I would also like to state that Justin Trudeau is using Khalistani supporters and Sikh extremists for his domestic vote bank. It's clear-cut vote bank politics taking place. He is going to lose the election and he's desperate. He's relying on the support of Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal's party. Jagmeet Singh Dhaliwal is an outright supporter of Khalistan, and therefore that issue is tied up to Canadian politics. Now, it is true that Canada has been saying that India is promoting certain acts and that it was responsible for the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. There are certain things which the Americans have also said, but we are in discussion with the Americans. We have tried to discuss the issues with the Canadians, but without proof, they keep on making accusations. Now we come back to the issue of India-Pakistan. We have repeatedly given to Pakistan all the proof that was required in regard to the involvement of Pakistani outfits in terror activities in India. For instance, in regard to the Mumbai terror attack, we had a detailed investigation. There were confessions from the Pakistani who was arrested and who was ultimately hanged here. And we gave all the dossiers to Pakistan, but unfortunately, they have outright been a mode of outright denial. They've ignored all the evidence. So the fact is, it is very important for us to build confidence between India and Pakistan. Because if our two countries are friends, if we have a good relationship, if we can sit together and iron out differences, and if Pakistan can appease us as far as our concerns regarding terrorism go.
And our concern is one, and it has only remained that. It's a one-point demand. End your support to terror.
Yes.
End your support to terror, and that's it. And that's all that India wants, and we can go back to ties being normal, to trade being normal, to connectivity being normal. But it doesn't look like we're at that position just as yet. And for that, Pakistan has to do much more than India, and there are no two ways about that. Unfortunately, I'm completely out of time, but I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective. Slipping into a quick break on Plain Speak, but don't go anywhere because two metro cities are crumbling after heavy rains. We get you those ground reports.